Fan theories are ideas and speculation that audiences have about movies, shows, comics, or anything really. They exist because fans are creative and passionate about the things they love, and they are written about by entertainment news sites. That's an oversimplification though, and it overlooks what the obsession with fan theories is doing to the way people interact with fiction. But there are such fan theories that are totally unbelievable, and we will be telling you all about 10 crazy Disney fan theories that might actually be true. Don't forget to like this video, hit the subscribe button, and click the bell icon for more spooky content. Number 10. Frozen. In the first film, we learn that Elsa and Anna's parents had been lost at sea while the girls were still very young. This, combined with the fact that the parents bore a striking resemblance to the parents of Disney's Tarzan character, led to the theory that Elsa and Anna's parents' ship had ventured into the African jungle and crashed on shore. There, the king and queen were forced to start a new life in the wild, eventually giving birth to a baby who would go on to become Tarzan. It was a cool theory, and there were even a few interviews with Frozen director where he even kind of almost maybe indicated that the theory was indeed true. But we all saw Frozen 2 after that, and finally, Tarzan is not really their long lost brother anymore. Number 9. Frozen and Tangled. Remember early on in the film, during For the First Time in Forever, when the castle doors open for Elsa's coronation and Anna finally gets to step outside and meet other people? If you blink, you'll miss them, but they are there. Look familiar? It's Rapunzel, post-haircut, and Eugene from Tangled. Sure, their little cameo might just be another Easter egg. We all know how much Disney loves including those, but it may also be a part of a bigger story that connects Frozen and Tangled. What if the king and queen of Arendelle were on their way to Rapunzel and Eugene's wedding when their boat sank? And that's why Rapunzel and Eugene felt the need to come to Elsa's coronation ceremony. The timeline match up to after the shipwreck and funeral. Frozen jumps forward 3 years. Is it just a coincidence then that it was also 3 years after Tangled was released that Frozen was released? Tangled premiered in 2010 while Frozen hit theaters in 2013. Number 8. The Little Mermaid. Most notably, there is the theory that The Little Mermaid and Frozen stories collide quite dramatically in the middle of the sea. In case you haven't stumbled across this piece of internet legend before, let us fill you in. You know that shipwreck in The Little Mermaid? The one where Ariel swims around finding human treasure to add to her collection before her and Flounder are rudely interrupted by a shark. Okay, good. Now, everyone who has sung along to Let It Go will know that Elsa and Anna's parents tragically die after their boat sinks. So, coming full circle, this means a shipwreck that Ariel is splashing around in once belonged to King and Queen in Frozen? Number 7. Snow White. Tangled is a sequel to Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. Mother Gothel is the evil queen. Mother Gothel and the evil queen both wear a blued note, the sash tied at the waist and the drooping sleeves. However, this style of dress was popular in the early 1300s, centuries before Snow White and Tangled took place. Both Snow White's castle and Corona's castle sit atop an island, and both have an arched white bridge connecting to mainland. Two instances of sun imagery in the evil queen's castle. Note the large green eyes and thin arched eyebrows. Note the chin, sunken eyes, limp hair, and bumpy nose. Mother Gothel's dagger looks strikingly similar to the one on the evil queen's box. In the left image, Gothel pausing next to a painted poison apple during her villain song. In the right, Gothel leaving Flynn die slumped directly beneath the same poison apple. Strange enough. Number 6. Finding Dory. It's no secret that the folks at Pixar love to sprinkle references and Easter eggs to past films throughout their movies. Some of these are instantly noticeable to even the most cursory Pixar fan, while others require multiple viewings to pick up on. It's a tradition that has existed for years, and Pixar's latest film definitely continued to embrace it. With that in mind, while we knew Finding Dory was chock full of great Easter eggs, it now seemed that Inside Out's Riley Anderson had a cameo that none of us ever even noticed. Disney has just released a brand new video showcasing all of the awesome Pixar gems hidden in the background of Finding Dory. One of the most awesome revelations is the fact that Riley Anderson from Inside Out actually makes an appearance in the Finding Nemo sequel. Specifically, she pops in the background of a shot where Dory finds herself in a tank at the Marine Life Institute. It's one of those blink and you'll miss it moments, and it's definitely there. Number 5. Moana. Heihei is the true hero of this tale. He is either an immortal chicken god or a god in chicken form. The whole stupid thing is just a show. He is the driver of this tale. He manipulates the environment and the people around him towards their ultimate destiny, and thus is the true architect of the plan to restore the heart and save the world. Hear me out. We know Heihei is immortal, and because he appears in the opening montage when Moana is a toddler and is still around when she is a teenager, exceeding the normal lifespan of a rooster. Why does Heihei confidently walk into the sea to keep up the ruse? Because he controls the sea. My theory is that the sea is not actually sentient, but is just Heihei manipulating the natural elements all around him. I suspect that in all the interactions that Moana/Grandma have with the sea, that Heihei is just off-frame controlling it all Magneto style. How does Heihei even get on the boat? Moana's mom packed him because he pledged to keep Moana safe. Now, go watch Moana again with this narrative in mind. Number 4. Robin Hood and Zootopia crossover. The stars of both films are clearly related. Take Nick and Robin, both rebels that follow their own moral compass, breaking the laws of the land and flying in the face of authority where they see fit. Then there is Judy and Skippy. Both are as enthusiastic as they are optimistic, bursting to escape the rural life to fight for justice for the little people. And of course, the Mayor and King Richard, bold, harsh, and born leaders, and both equally ignorant when it comes to the trickery being committed by those close to them. Well, you know the Mayor of Zootopia, but did you catch his full name? That's right, Mayor Leodore Lionheart is the great etc. grandson of King Richard the Lionheart. Set 800 years after Robin Hood's medieval Nottingham, the American city of Zootopia is a continuation of that world's struggle for justice for the little people against the corrupt officials in power. Number 3. Toy Story's Jessie. It all started with a hat. You remember the story of Jessie? Her owner Emily grew up with her much the same way as Andy. She was incredibly loved, but Emily eventually gave her away when she grew older. Jessie ended up in storage for a long time, as confirmed by her in the movie when she has a literal panic attack over having to go back. Now, take a close look at what's on this bed in Emily's room. That is a hat that looks extremely similar. It's the same red hat with white lace that Andy wears. The room is also pretty old-fashioned, leaving room for this to take place years ago Andy was born. In fact, you can clearly tell that this isn't modern day with shots like these. Also, in the donation box that Emily puts Jessie in, we don't see the hat. We do see other remnants of her connection with Jessie, but the hat is noticeably absent. The box isn't even big enough to hold it. So Emily held on to that hat and maybe passed it on to her child, who would grow to also love a cowboy doll. Number 2. Cars. Children's entertainment is full of anthropomorphized objects and animals. To kids, Talking automobiles are no more or less strange than babies who are bosses or teenage turtles who get mutated into ninja warriors. But to the parents and adults who watch the Cars movie with these children, their internal logic and rules are a source of endless fascination. Cars was different. In its world, the motor vehicles, trucks, planes, boats, and pitties, little forklifts whose tiny arms perform tasks the other cars cannot, are the only living creatures. If humanity existed, it had died out after the start of the film. And yes, this is an atypically dark premise for a Disney movie marketed to 4-year-olds. Humanity must have existed in the world of Cars at some point. Everywhere you looked, in every single frame, there was evidence that living creatures used to exist. After all, if there were never any human beings in Cars' world, why do the cars have door handles? It may be a planet of cars, but like the planet of the apes, it is definitely Earth, or at least it was in the past. Number 1. Tarzan. What if the tea set Tarzan's gorilla friend Turk is drumming on is actually a centuries old heirloom from the Potter's noble past? In fact, it could be just one of the clues connecting Jane Potter to Belle from Beauty and the Beast. You see, cutlery isn't the only thing Jane has inherited from her royal ancestor. There's her dress sense, her eccentric father, her taste in slightly wild men, and her passion for civilizing those men. It's also interesting that we don't have a surname for Belle or her father Maurice, and Belle goes on to marry Beast, whose popular name Prince Adam isn't even officially recognized. And that would be all for today's video, people. I hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to give it a big fat thumbs up. Subscribe to The Unleashed for daily jaw-dropping content. Also, why don't you comment down below any of your fan theories. Until next time, keep vibing.